Good evening. It is so fun to see so many of you here on a Tuesday night. What a joy it is to be together. I'm Reverend Rosemary Dodd. I serve this congregation, First Parish Bridgewater Unitarian Universalist, as your minister. I warmly welcome you to our beautiful sanctuary. You can see we're getting some work done on the windows, so stay tuned for news of their complete revival in the spring. First Parish Bridgewater is a welcoming congregation. Love is the power that holds us together. We live our faith values by welcoming all people with love and open hearts. No matter who you are, no matter who you love, no matter where you are on your spiritual journey, we welcome you. If you're joining us in our building or online for the first time today, we welcome you to share in our worship service as your whole self. We welcome especially all those from our neighbor congregations here in Bridgewater who have joined together to create today's service. If you'd like to stay in touch with First Parish and hear more about our congregation, you're welcome to fill out the guest book at the back of the sanctuary or talk to any of the very, very friendly congregants. For those of us joining worship in the sanctuary, let's take a moment to wave and welcome our friends who are watching us on Bridgewater Cable TV or Zoom or YouTube later. In the event of an emergency, please leave the building through the main sanctuary doors. There's 3 of them at the rear of the sanctuary. If you should need a ramp, you can exit through the School Street entrance to my left and down the ramp. Thank you all for joining in worship today. Whether you join us in person or online, your presence creates our beloved community of faith. Today, I will start the service by reading our land acknowledgement in full in recognition of the painful history of Thanksgiving for the Native people of this land. We acknowledge that this church building sits on the traditional land of the Wampanoag, Massachusetts, and Pokanoet people. We recognize that this land was stolen from people indigenous to this continent during colonization, and we commit ourselves to working toward equity and justice. We extend our respect to the people of these nations who live here today, their ancestors who have lived here for centuries, and to all indigenous people. We also affirm that this acknowledgement is insufficient. It does not undo the harm that has been done and continues to be perpetrated against indigenous people. May we keep the first peoples of this land in our hearts and minds as we gather and worship on this sacred land. Later in the service, our offering will be for the Mashpee Wampanoag Language School in recognition of our commitment to continued justice and equity. We'll now begin our time of worship with the prelude. Thanks so much, Denise. That's why it was so loud. Oh, that's better. Okay. In the Unitarian Universalist tradition, we light a flaming chalice each time we gather for worship. It is a symbol of the divine light within each one of us, and we light it in memory of that today. Would Lisa please come forward to light our chalice? Please join in reciting our chalice lighting words. They're on the slide and also in your program. We light our chalice to mark this sacred hour. As we gather in this beautiful historic sanctuary, both in body and in spirit, we connect to the many generations that have come here to explore the divine. Let us join our hearts and find the holy in our relationship to each other. It is time to share worship together. You are now invited to rise, whether in body or spirit, and we will join our voices for the affirmation of our covenant, and then stay standing for our sung aspiration. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its gift. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to speak the truth in love, and to help one another. I'd like to invite Carol forward for our invocation.
Our invocation this evening is based on Psalm 25. To you, O God, we lift up our souls. To you we offer our praise and prayer, our worship, our thanksgiving, our gratitude, our fellowship, even our very lives. Make your ways known to us. Show us the path on which we should walk. Lead us in your truth and teach us, for you alone are the God who saves, the God in whom we trust, and the one on whom we wait. Amen. Please join in singing hymn 349, found in your gray hymnal. Thank you.
Together with joyful thanksgiving.
I am not Reverend Beth Stotts, but she is ill tonight, and so I will be reading the prayer that she wrote for this service instead of her. Please join me in a spirit of prayer, meditation, or contemplation as we settle into our time of worship. Gracious and generous God, source of every good gift, we gather from many traditions, many journeys, and many stories to lift one voice of thanksgiving. In a world often marked by division, you draw us together in a spirit of unity and gratitude. We give thanks today for the abundance that surrounds us. We thank you for the beauty of creation, for the turning of seasons, and for the daily gifts of breath, strength, and hope. God of mercy, we remember today those for whom Thanksgiving feels heavy, those who grieve, those who hunger, those who are lonely or without home, those living in places of conflict or fear. May your compassion rest upon them. May our gratitude move us to acts of care and justice. Teach us to see our blessings not as possessions to guard, but as resources to share for the flourishing of all your people. God of all peoples and all faiths, guide us in the ways of peace. Help us honor the dignity of your creation and tend the bonds of community with tenderness and care. As we worship and as we go from this place, may gratitude shape our words, may generosity shape our actions, and may love shape our lives. For all you have done, for all you are doing, and for all that is yet to be, we give you thanks. Amen. Please stay seated and join in singing our musical meditation today, which is number 68. Come, ye thankful people.
It is time for our offering. This offering is going to a Wampanoag school. Please be generous in your contributions tonight. They will be very well received and very well accepted. How do you do this? gathered to give thanks this season, we are reminded of the abundant blessings that surround us: family, food, faith, and fellowship. Thanksgiving is not just a time to reflect on what we've received, but also a time to respond with gratitude that God has richly blessed us now, and we are a blessing to others through this Thanksgiving offering. Amen.
From the Holy Bible, Psalms. How excellent is thy loving kindness, O God! Therefore the children of men put their trust under the shadow of thy wings. They shall be abundantly satisfied with the fatness of thy house. We, thy people, and sheep of thy pasture, will give thanks forever. We will show forth thy praise to all generations. Sing unto God, sing praises to his name. A father of the fatherless and a judge of the widows is God in his holy habitation. God setteth the solitary in families. Isaiah. Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. Since thou wast precious in my sight, thou hast been honorable, and I have loved thee. Bring my sons from far, and my daughters from the ends of the earth, even every one that is called by my name. And my people shall dwell in a peaceable habitation, and in sure dwellings, and in quiet resting places. Now therefore ye are no more strangers and foreigners, but fellow citizens with the saints and of the household of God.
And how on earth am I supposed to follow that? Talk about gratitude. It's Thanksgiving season. We hear quite often about being thankful, about being grateful. But what does grateful and thankful really mean? So I went to the dictionary, not the book. I went online. Although back in school, I did have to use the book. Grateful is an adjective, a describing word, meaning appreciative of benefits received, feeling or showing thanks. But that's it for a moment. Appreciative of benefits received. Goes right along with church. We receive many benefits. But I see gratitude as more of how we carry ourselves. How do others see us? And I don't mean that we should be concerned with what others think of us, but how are we showing ourselves to the world? When someone sees us, do they know we attend church? Do they know what kind of vocation or job we have? Gratitude starts with recognizing God's character in us. We are constantly reminded that gratitude comes from God, and it flows through us to others. God is always good, even when the circumstances are not. But how do we remember that? We know that God is faithful. We hear it all the time. But how do we take all these things that we hear, all these characteristics of God that were put into us as we were made in His image? God has carried you through many, many seasons. Seasons of joy, seasons of grief, seasons of gratitude. I want you to literally take a moment and think about one thing that you are grateful for today. Just one thing. If you want to share, feel free. But think of one thing. Hold on to that. We also know that we should give thanks to God in all of those circumstances, even the rough times. We've been told, oh, there's always a silver lining. Maybe, but there's always something we can learn, whether it's a good situation or a bad situation. There's something to learn, something to be grateful that we learned. Do you all know the story of the 10 lepers that Jesus healed? Yes, I'm seeing. Anybody not? Wait, aren't you the reverend here? In Luke chapter 17, 11 through 19, Jesus healed 10 lepers. He healed them all, and he sent them off. One came back to say thank you. Do you want to be the one or part of the 9? We need to build our life around gratitude, about being thankful, being able to enter his gates with thanksgiving, being in God's presence and bringing that presence to others in your life. Be that light that shines. Tomorrow, not quite Thanksgiving, see if you can speak to one person with gratitude. Show that gratitude, because gratitude and peace are linked together spiritually. In our church this week, of which I'm the pastor of the new church on the other corner, I challenged my congregation and my Sunday school to start and end each day with 3 things to be thankful or grateful for. Just 3. 3 in the morning. I even gave them 1, to be grateful that your feet hit the floor. There's got to be 2 more, right? And then 3 at night. So I'm looking forward to next Sunday. Did you do it? I might get a couple. But I want us to remember that gratitude is not just seasonal. It's not just November and December. We need to be grateful and thankful for everything we have. And I think we get caught up in that. I think we forget. Is the excuse that we're human? What we need to do is strive to be better and strive to be that light, to show that gratitude for where we are. And I will encourage you to choose gratitude each day, to remember God's goodness, and to express thanksgiving in every season, the whole year through. Amen.
Thank you so much, Pastor Kelly, for those words. Let's sing again, because you're so good at it. And even if you weren't, you'd get to sing here. Please rise in body or spirit for our closing hymn. It's in the teal hymnal, okay? It's number 1010, Oh, We Give Thanks.
So this piece that we're doing is kind of a call and response style, and our friends over here are going to lead, and they're going to sing a phrase, and then we as a congregation are going to repeat. So I'll be standing in the middle over there. Hopefully you all can see me, and you can follow along with me. So these folks are going to lead, and then we will follow.
You remember Pastor Kelly a couple minutes ago told you all to think about maybe something that you are thankful for? This is our opportunity to say it out loud. And I'll start. I'm thankful today to be here with you all. I'm usually traveling this week. My daughter lives in Virginia, but she bought a house, and there's no room at the inn for me. So I am thankful that I get to be here with you. I invite you to name out loud, or silently if you prefer, the things that you are thankful for.
My 3 girls.
My kids home.
For my friends and family.
Grandchildren.
The love of my church.
My wife.
My cat. Some special students.
The family.
For God's love and direction.
For this community and how inclusive it is towards transgender people like myself, and also for the Episcopal Church and the Trinity community, and that I'm going to be coming over there and about how inclusive they are, and tons of other things.
Tons of other things. Please do.
I'm thankful that Pat invited me to this church service. For your protests.
Beauty of the earth.
For the peace that we're going to have in this world soon.
For all the extra choir members who joined my choir.
Beautiful song and the children.
Holy and gracious God, we have so many reasons to be grateful. We thank you for all of the blessings of this life and for all of the blessings that we have named here today and all the ones that we are holding in our heart. And now, my friends, life is short, and we do not have much time to gladden the hearts of those who make the journey with us. So be swift to love and make haste to be kind. And the blessing of God, who made us, who loves us, and who travels with us, be with you now and forever. Amen.
Lisa, would you come back up to extinguish our chalice? She's ready. I have so much gratitude for all those who gathered together to make this service happen, from our ecumenical colleague cluster who meet for fellowship and some shared griping, and to create beautiful worship, to all those choir members who joined their voices in song, to Pat for playing the trumpet, to Denise for shepherding our choir and music with love and joy, and to all of you for joining us for this special service. Thank you. Please join me in reciting the words to our chalice extinguishing. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Blessed be. Our time of worship has ended, but our time of fellowship begins now. If you'd like to stick around for a little while, please make your way out these doors to our upper parish hall for some sweet treats and some decaffeinated coffee. If you want to use the elevator, flag down an usher and they'll assist you in using our lift system. Go in peace.